Within the bloody trenches lay the fairest one of slaughter's prey. Those are the opening lines of a poem composed by Private Henry Clinton Parkhurst of the 16th Iowa Infantry. And he was writing about an incident that occurred right here during the Battle of Big Black River Bridge in May of 1863. And I will let Iowa and Mark Hidlebaugh tell you a little bit more about this battle and what happened here.
All right, Shelby, thank you. Following the disastrous Battle of Champion Hill, Pemberton's Confederate Army limps back towards Vicksburg, which is off to my right. They're coming down the old Jackson Road, coming from my left, stopping here about 900 yards short of the Big Black River. Now, instead of setting up defensive works on the high ridges behind the river, they set up a defensive line along this what is now tree line here, using cotton bales and tossed earth on top of them. Why did they set up here? Because they're waiting for one of their missing divisions. Loring's division had gone missing. They were cut off at the end of the Battle of Champion Hill. Pemberton decided to wait for him and set up a line here. McClernand's 13th Army Corps deployed all across from the far tree line here that borders the Big Black River, over 1,000 yards to our left, behind this tree line, crossing the railroad tracks. One of the brigades under that was a brigade of mostly Iowans under the command of Mike Lawler, big Mike Lawler, who found a small depression. At the time it was referred to as a meandering scar. Now, erosion and cultivation, farming and development have pretty much erased what's left of it, but it was, in short, it was a small ditch, what we would call it today, in the area where those houses are over there. By using that ditch, that allowed them to deploy, come within a few hundred yards of the Confederate defensive line here. Lawler's brigade charged. The entire battle took about 10 minutes. One of the brigades that the Iowans hit was that of Vaughn's brigade, mostly Tennesseans, and that's where this incident took place. We'll let Shelby finish the story from there.
So the fairest one of slaughter's prey that Parkhurst was referring to was ultimately a woman who was discovered in the trenches after Lawler's brigade had driven what we think would be Vaughn's brigade of mostly Tennesseans out of those trenches. Now, the 16th Iowa Infantry was not here, and so we can assume that Parkhurst heard about this story from his fellow Iowans in Lawler's brigade. So, fortunately, we don't know anything about this woman, as it seems like we don't know a lot about most of the women who fought in the Civil War. But we can assume that she was buried somewhere here. Parkhurst had mentioned that she was buried on a gory crest, so we can assume that the gory crest was the crest of the trenches, which would have been here behind me. So she may be still buried here today. Again, we just don't know.
One last thing I want to add about this. If you look over where those houses are, to this tree line. Now, Lawler's brigade came in an angle into this area, angling for the railroad. That's got to be 400 to 500 yards across here. Now, I know it's hard to get Congress to act on anything, but I think a Medal of Honor deserves to be awarded posthumously for that attack. I mean, any horse that can carry big 350-pound Mike Lawler at a charge across this field deserves a damn Medal of Honor.